Hello, universe. It is 8:52 on the 22nd of August, Monday the 22nd. And it's trash day. Got my trash out on time. And what else did I get on to talk about besides patting myself on the back for such a wonderful accomplishment? Well, I guess I got on to explain some things that I need to recalibrate in terms of my current contribution to the pot, given the strength of my hand and what's going on around me. Everything is always in flux, including what I believe I'm experiencing in my own reality versus the things that I know are trying to sway me one way or another, influence me to an outcome I've never pretended to understand, but whatever it is, it's driven now from within somewhat. Does that sound like brainwashing? Well, I started getting all these thoughts, and then they started manifesting into something that now feels like I'm thinking these are the thoughts from within me. Yeah, sorry, I'm mumbling like an insane person. And I found a few of my last recordings include some rambling on that was unintended, obscure, incomplete, full of arguable definitions even in my own head, so to say they were filled with contradiction. Well, at one point I said I saw the world differently all of a sudden, and I never have explained that, but I think the most shocking concept that the Mandela effect crystallizes is the fluidity of the past. And again, I don't deny the likelihood of this being some sort of mind control psyop that our government or some rogue world agency is pulling on the duped public sphere of America. But having your past change, I would have sworn on a stack of Bibles there was a cornucopia in the Fruit of the Loom logo, at least when I was a kid. I may not have noticed it changing lately to something else, but I know as a kid it had a cornucopia. I would have 100% said that there were 4 people in the JFK limo, to the point that I would have sworn on my life, and now there are 6. And the Berenstain Bears, again, I have a personal story on how to spell that word that's so vividly real in my head and in my life that it can't be false, but it's never been spelled with an E. So suddenly you have to immediately put cards on the table, like, why am I experiencing this in more than a couple of memory moments? Why am I conflicting with historical data I had solidified through my deep and thorough investigation of the nuanced variables involved in JFK's assassination? How can I mistake the underwear logo that taught me the word cornucopia? I can't. nor can objects in the mirror may be closer than they appear not have been on the mirrors of my childhood. It was. So, you're suddenly an upset apple cart. Because what's happening is you're no longer capable of believing in yourself. Your own accumulation of 3D space-time reality data on Earth 8675309. It has somehow malfunctioned. You're experiencing the anomaly. You can't deny it. As an evidence-based gathering entity, you are faced with a bucket full of anomalous data that doesn't explain itself. Well, am I alone? Thinks the data collector. Fucking what? I'm not? There's thousands of us, and we all remember the other thing? Oh yeah, this is some conspiracy theory. Fuck you. Fuck the world. Fuck it all. You want to talk about cashing in? Well, your first instinct is bewilderment. Holy smoke, what the hell's going on? How can there be this many of us, and how can there be this many anomalies? There are hundreds of them. Quirky ones, like that Ford logo curlicue. The fuck is that about? Why are so many of them tied to corporate America? Why does it feel like them skidding out from underneath some legal liability that will be generated in some future court, or was generated in some previous malleable past court? Do you see where you have to go when you become the victim of something ridiculous, like your past changing? Wait, what if it's not ridiculous? What if the structural logging of life experience that the internet has now started revealing a pattern that's always been there, just never enough documentation to reveal it with concrete evidence to entertain its potential integration in the human experience, because everybody else who's not experiencing it thinks you're fucking crazy. Maybe. Okay. Maybe the internet is finally saying, wake up, humans. The past is fluid. There is no structural timeline of linear ABCDEFG. From G, you can always reach back to B and turn it into a J. Well, aside from being somewhat intrigued by the fact I picked the letter J, that still sounds freaking quirky, because what we experience is static. It is, in fact, that which we know to have happened. So now you want me to go and say, well, okay, yeah, I broke my hand because I ran into that handrail, but if I just think quirkily enough, maybe I can not have broken my hand at all. You going to tell me these things are possible? How'd you put 2 more people into the JFK limo? So, when I say I suddenly shifted my opinion, wait, what did I suddenly shift? My worldview? Yeah. Well, this was the Gestalt shift, as it were. These moments of realization that this trickery, this mindfuckery, this unexplainable victimization I was experiencing, well, kind of a neat puzzle. Can we figure it out? Once I let go of the disbelief of it all, once I forgave the counter-trolling for their indignity, their lack of humanity, their dismissive nature, things I had seen in myself. I'm not trying to be a hypocrite, but fuck you guys. The truth of it all then exposes you to question beyond the pale, down every flippin' rabbit hole there is will you go. Everything you've ever considered unshakably valid just experienced an earthquake. So of course this weak structure you're still clinging to needs to be thoroughly investigated for what happened. So then, the dreams with the camel lionesses start telling you about these influential swirls, this impending events, stream of events, and how some sort of, I don't even know what, some confluence of activity, some central gathering point of energy has been cleared. But the impending shakeup of the human condition has just now moved into this rather ominous future swirl of everything coming together. Something changes in this region of the galaxy, universe, whatever, wherever these energy readings are gathering their data from. Well, it's all coming to some sort of pinpoint resolution, from which the outcome beyond that is unknown. At least unknown to us. This level of realization in the densities that exist to create life in this universe. This is how these dreams have explained existence, and that what we have done somehow, what we have enabled, is an opportunity for humanity to participate in this final energetic escalation, whatever this is. So you can read all the data online you want about the New Age shit that's supporting ascension, or light beings of galactic importance, or space dual forces, or it's all out there. And from the Corys to the Lauras, there is this group that I have enough flutter with to feel it's potentially the source of all the insanity, is some deviant government, deep underground psyop is working to snare the unhinged, the disconnected, those of us who have never felt like this planet resonated through our manifestation in this reality, 8675309 Earth. that somehow we don't belong. Now, who are these people? Are they just the dingbat losers who shake their way out of a competitive capitalist system and thus complain like, but what about me? Are those the people we're talking about? Possibly, right? At least some of them have to be. And perhaps that's who I am. It's a realization that the weak are part of this group because they've self-identified as not fitting in, not belonging, not having the direct connection to their immediate environment to think they belong. Well, in a capitalist society, not everybody belongs, because those with the skills and the drive and the motivation and the willpower, well, eventually they do jump forward and leave behind those lacking in what it takes to make it. And since we do have the weak among us, rather than letting them fester inside of society and complain their way through middle management jobs, leaving all of our corporations vulnerable to infectious malaise, how about we just corral that group of numbnut free thinkers into the, well, maybe I'm part of some alien descent DNA injected light warrior race that came here to fix humanity. Yeah, maybe you are. Maybe you are. Or maybe the whole fucking thing is one big mind fuck so that you'll go play in the sand by yourself with your bucket and leave the big people alone. So, it's not like I buy into any of it. But when your dreams, when your personal messaging, when your synchronicity with the freaking universe starts drilling you down, that there is in fact a level of integration here on planet Earth that is unbeknownst to most of us, of some infiltrating agency that has influence in our day-to-day, again, unbeknownst to most of us. What is that influence? I'm not claiming it's alien beings. But if it's not some transient visitor coming from some other arena, then it's an interdimensional visitor, meaning either somebody traveling into time and space to this location to muddle with a timeline, or somebody is literally coming from a dimensional realm of density unknown to us to, again, muddle with the timeline. Those three options are what you're left if you want to chase down the smack you upside the head reality that these camel lionesses keep trying to convey to me in what are crystallized reality level dreams, to the point I can't forget them. I don't get to. I have to wake up consumed by them. And so tomorrow, when I start this distribution of kindness and understanding and forgiveness, it's with the intent of following their directive about being behind on my job and agreement of coming here to lead a charge with those fundamental characteristics at the front. What does that mean? I don't fucking know. I don't know, nor do I buy into any of this as a legitimate brain thought that makes me understand myself. But I understand that my motivation here is pure, and that I have lagged behind in being fairly true to who and what my harmonious, resonant purpose with this environment is. When I am kind, when I am understanding, and when I'm forgiving, I never feel anything but dual elevation. Myself and my co-participant. Whatever. In other words, I will always have a better day and become a better person by giving the universe kindness, understanding, and forgiveness. Those driving forces reverberate exactly with the harmonious signal I'm sending and bring back elevating and synchronous harmonious waves to me that increase my sense of purpose, justice, and peace on earth. Yada yada. New Age gobbledygook. So, if I don't go out and gather the data and present myself to the world in these pure energetic intentions and prove influence in both regards, well, I won't have much on which to argue that this is the way. So, having not done this for my whole life, I figure that's another nail in the coffin of why this is all my fault. Because I suppose most of you figured out at least some of the things you were supposed to be doing on your way to fulfillment as a life of purpose and dignity and destiny here on planet Earth 8675309. But I know a lot of you didn't, like me. And I'm pretty sure that when I was signing my life plan for this round, I padded the game with as much ease of circumstance as I could, because it wouldn't be like me to do this if I didn't think somewhere along the line we all deserve more. I'm coming at this with the idea that if a pampered, sorry-ass white boy who basically fucked around most of his life to get to this point can feel like he deserved more, well, I believe that indicates that every single one of us, every one of us on this planet deserves more. And we'll see how this goes. But something tells me more is just right around the corner. And we just have to remember that's our purpose in being here. To help each other realize that together, it always means everybody gets more. Hold on. More of what? 3 things for sure. More kindness, more understanding, more forgiveness. The energetic waves of the universe will circle around as much as they need to. But tomorrow, what will guaranteed be checked off in the slight uptick box of universal energetic flow are kindness, understanding, and forgiveness. And possibly listening if that's on the list.